on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Foreign cars, I make rich look.
Hey folks, MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. Jeff S, aka TrueKnowledge, co-host, creator here, moderating episode 6. What is the Cyber? What is the title of the episode? Do you know what it is?
I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry.
We don't
Teach/corrupt.
Okay, teach/corrupt. Thank you.
Forward slash.
This is the collaborative intro. So this is the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. We're short a couple guests right now, but either way, if this is what we're going to be rocking with, this will be a good show. I'm obviously, as I already stated, I'm moderating the show this evening. Cyberneticshark, my co-host, is anchoring the panel with Real Wrath Khan and Imran from Jock and Nerd podcast. So that's the team for tonight. Wednesday evening, what is it, 7/10/24? 9:36 p.m. Eastern. So, guys, going into episode 6, first question, I'll go to you, Rathakon. Where are you at coming off episode 5, going into episode 6? Like, where's your mindset?
I was actually starting to have a bit of hope that things will just get more interesting, that all the pieces will start coming together. Do you want me to say what happened after episode 6? Like, do you want me to be like, do I feel good? Do I feel bad? Or
no, I don't want you to talk about episode 7.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, then yeah, talk about whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah, and now I'm here on the panel, and I'm actually kind of scared. I don't have much to say because this episode was very calm.
Okay. Anything else?
Anything else other than I'm happy that Imran and Cyber and you are here. So happy to talk about Star Wars with you guys.
Okay. All right. I'll go to you, Imran. Imran, your thoughts going from episode 5 to episode 6.
Well, look, first of all, thank you for having me back.
Sir, we thank you.
I'm always excited to discuss the most uneventful and boring Star Wars show that's ever been created. However, like Wrath Khan, I had a little bit of hope after episode 5, arguably probably the best episode of the season. Shit happened. Lightsabers were swung around. People were killed. Main characters, things were revealed. It was popping. And I was like, all right. The only time this show suffers is when people open their mouths and start talking. It's the only problem this show has. So I may have been wrong for me to have hope and think they got momentum. Let's keep the momentum going, right? That's what you would think after probably some of the best lightsaber shit I've seen in a long time. It's weird. It's in this show, which is such a conflicting feeling. The best combat lightsaber hand-to-hand shit and the worst everything else. So I don't know.
What do you think, Cyber?
As I stated previously with the last episode, I thought that episode 5 was lackluster, and I didn't think that the fighting was anything that great. I compared it to the fight sequences in Revenge of the Sith, and I don't think anything compares to that fight sequence between Anakin and Obi-Wan. So, I mean, it has to be better than that for it to impress me. And I thought that it was pretty lackluster. And I thought that, once again, like I said before, I thought that the ratios of the Sith Lord fighting the Jedi was just ridiculously stupid. And how they edited it and everything like that just did not work properly. So I just thought the episode was complete mush, just like the previous 4 episodes. So, killing off several of the characters can put a damper on your situation, but when you have no interest in the characters, it doesn't really matter. Thankfully, the 2 characters that do aren't horrible in the series at least survive, and you get to see them in this current episode that we're discussing. So overall, 5 was utter complete trash as well.
Okay, there you go.
Jeff, were you sad about your boy Yord? I gotta know.
Yeah, I was sad. What, are you kidding me? And Jackie.
Good.
How-
Yeah, Jackie was great too. Like he showed promise.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Jackie was killing in episode 5. Then she had to get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. What's up with that? What's up with that? Fucking Jackie up.
She put up a fight. Like she could hold. I was surprised.
Jackie had potential. She had potential.
She was holding her own.
She fucked my boy Yord up, man. I'm still hurting over that shit. Anyway, so all right. So the first sequence of the episode, episode 6, essentially involves Osha and Qimir, the Sith Lord or whatever. Osha wakes up on a mysterious island. She notices her wounds have been bandaged and discovers May's old clothes and sleek kunai blades. She steps outside to find herself on a rocky beach of an unknown planet. As she wanders, she spots Qimir, also known as the Stranger or Darth Swole, on the beach. Is my outline? Okay, Darth Swole. Yeah. And she sees the ship and everything, and like, and all this shit, right? This is before the actual nude scene and all that. Coming off that, we get Soul's distress call, where it's now Soul and May, who's posing as Osha with Basil, right? And you got Soul, on Khofar. Soul is in a Jedi shuttle trying to send a distress call to Coruscant. The signal is weak, but he manages to get some message across to Vernestra. Meanwhile, May, disguised as her sister Osha, explores the shuttle and recalls a test for Master Indara. Basil, the Tinan tracker, watches her suspiciously. Now, she also steps up to Soul like she's going to try to kill him at one point too. And then he tells her to fly the ship so that she just forgets about that for a while or whatever. Another complete plot, makes no sense type move or whatever, right? But I'll stop there as our first cutoff line, and I'll go in the same order. Rathacon, your thoughts on the first part of the episode?
So one of the first thoughts I had, when you see May in the ship exploring around, and then as you mentioned at that one point where it's she's right behind Soul. Soul is just, focused on this thing with the ship, trying to get the distress signal. And it's why does she want to kill this Jedi? What is the crime exactly that Soul did that you're willing to go through all these great lengths? And by the way, that pivot in the end of episode 4, where she's suddenly okay, I gotta turn myself into the Jedi.
Yeah, what happened?
That was just brilliant. Right now, she's right there, about to kill.
What did happen? What happened with that?
That's my question. It's does she suddenly be oh, maybe now's not the good time to kill? Because
why would you make that complete reversal of fortune fucking decision or whatever, and then all of a sudden renege against it immediately?
Oh, in the end where she's saying oh yeah, I could take over the ship.
It's right back to being normal May.
Exactly. That's why she's one of the most hated characters of this entire season. I don't know if there's gonna be more seasons. I don't know, but I'll just say show, season, whatever. But I have to give credit to her though, because think about it. If she did not make that pivot, run away from the Sith Lord and pretend to be Osha, it's she wouldn't have this opportunity, this prime opportunity to just kill Soul. But she fumbled because Soul's hey, can you watch the ship? And she's yeah, sure. And I think right there was where Soul's okay, Osha's different. I don't think this is Osha at all. And at the same time, going back to what I was saying, where it's what is the crime that
she's got the tattoo on her face, doesn't she? It's right there.
I don't even notice the tattoos when I'm watching the show. That's how I'm just gonna say that up front. Maybe a lot of people are like me. Who knows? But let's be real here. What the hell is the crime that the Jedi did that makes May want to kill all these people? What is the crime? Just for letting Osha make her own decision about her life? That's it? I mean, she was the one who burned their homeland and killed everyone, through that fire, as we saw in episode 3. So just the whole thing, it's I think May is just not clear with why she wants to kill the Jedi. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's what we're seeing here.
Okay. I believe I went to you after that. Did I go to you, Cyber, after that? Or I go to you, Imran? I can't remember.
I think it was me.
Emron.
I'll go to you again then, Emron.
I think it was me. This, yeah, the opening, it's all right. This show is like so repetitive. I feel like, is it me or how many times does the scene start with like characters waking up? Like Osha, or like they've done that several times. It's just like, oh, where am I? Like how many times you get knocked out and then it just starts with like, wait, I feel like we've seen that a couple of times. They're running out of tricks. And I was also, yeah, because I was the whole flip. This is the beginning of the flip flop, right? So the planet Osha is on looks a lot like the planet from The Last Jedi, does it not? Where Luke Skywalker was. Acto Gesundheit but it says unknown planet. So that's interesting. I don't understand why May decided to make the flip when she's like, I found my sister. I want to be with her. She has the opportunity, but then instead she's like, oh, I'll just let Manny take him. I'm going to go over here. And I think it takes Saul a while to figure out that it's not Osha and it's really May. But he's just been through a crazy battle and he's lost a bunch of people. So I'll give him a pass for not like figuring out right away that this isn't the same girl, even though she had a really convenient lightsaber haircut to cover. I think the tattoo is the hair is covering the tattoo. But you're right. She has the mark of the ascension on from the ceremony.
It wouldn't be funny if it was a force penis tattoo. She had her face.
Wait, what is a force penis tattoo? What does that look like?
Just a big penis.
It's a big penis that looks like a lightsaber, maybe.
Yeah.
You mean it's so thin, right?
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Cyber, what are your thoughts, sir?
I'm sorry, where did you end?
I ended at the Soul May bullshit where May tries to kill Soul and then he's like steer the ship, and so she just forgets all about that shit, and then she explores the shuttle and everything and all that shit, and Soul's trying to get the communication back up and all that. I stopped at the end of that.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, just like all the other episodes, with, my first thoughts were, oh God, what the fuck is this going to be again? And so the fact that, basically it centers on Soul, May, Osha, and Sith Swole, which I like that name. That's a good name.
Darth
That's a funny
Swole?
name. Yeah, Darth Swole. That's a good one. Darth Swole was a little nice change of pace. Not too many characters, so they were kind of focused on them too. So out of the episodes, this one actually didn't bore me to death. So the beginning of this is kind of interesting, seeing just what this Darth, the Sith Lord is up to. Him trying to convince, Osha, kind of right off the bat there, he goes taking a bath in the ocean. And after she I didn't go
that far.
That's not a part of that?
I didn't go to the bath, no.
Oh,
the bath,
shit.
The bath is not a part of
Andres is missing, so I had to play Andres.
Is this the first time you've done this on the show, Cyber? Where you went ahead?
Yep. Anyways, so that little section of the episode isn't too bad. It's not interesting, but it's not horrible. The conversations between the two, Soul, once again, like I said, kicks ass. Darth Swole kicks ass. And pretty much it's a basic episode. Nothing special and fancy. Nothing really to talk about.
So basically just Amanda Spandler or whatever sucks. That's the problem.
Yes.
Wait, is this the part also with that long shot on Saul as he's like crying and upset? And
yeah, he has like an emotional panic attack.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought that dude pulled that off just with all in the face. You could see everything he was going through, anguish, and then he kind of like accepts it at the end.
He's gonna win a Golden Globe for his role in Acolyte.
It was a crazy long shot. It lasted for like a minute. I was like, they're just hanging on his face, but his face is doing all the work. No dialogue. I thought he did a really good job.
He's the only person that's going to make out of this series okay. Like he's going to walk. He's going to walk away from this, and people in the U.S. are going to be like, "Oh, I want to hire this guy. He can speak English now."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
There you go. How about that? So, I guess Wrath of Khan disappeared on us. He's probably hanging out with his stuffed animal.
He said he's grabbing food, is what he said.
Oh, okay. He's gonna grab food, huh? I see how it is.
Yeah.
So the confrontation on the beach, okay, where Osha approaches Qimir all stalker-like and shit, kind of like soul stalking on the little girls and shit. In episode 3.
Yeah.
Like I said, now it's Osha, and she's stalking up on Qimir, right? And this is the part you were talking about, Cyber. She's got a knife and all this shit, but she hesitates when she sees his lightsaber. Qimir, aware of her presence, strips his clothes off and shit and everything, and like goes completely buck naked and goes in the water to bathe and shit and whatnot. Begins to teach her about the Force and their past connection. He admits he didn't kill Soul or May, right? But she's definitely like stalking him when he's all nude and shit and whatnot. It was really creepy. It was really weird, you know. She's like leering around, you know, like checking him out. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? But we got some more shirtless Jedi, right? After NordVPN took his shirt off earlier in another episode. He's dead, of course. Rest his soul. Rest in peace, Yord. VPN.
Pour one out for Yord.
For real. Yord was a soldier, baby. Then he got his neck busted. Motherfucker. Maybe he's still okay. You never know. Who knows? But so we get that intense confrontation scene on the beach, right? Which you guys can fill the gaps on all you want. And then we get political maneuvering on Coruscant, where we catch Verdestra being warned by Senator Chewant about an external review of the Jedi Order. Mog updates her about Soul's distress call, prompting Verdestra to lead a rescue mission to Khofar. And I'll stop there. I'll go to you, Cyberneticshark, first. Your thoughts, sir, on that passage of the episode?
So like I mentioned there before, before I went too far ahead, apparently, with the BAP scene, that scene was like hilarious because I was just like, what the fuck is the point of this? And I was just like waiting for them to show an ass shot too. Yeah. I was like waiting for it. I was totally waiting for it, but they did it. I was like, okay, good. Thank you, God. Because then I remember, oh shit, this is lesbians making this. No, so they wouldn't show that unless it was a woman's ass. And I'm like, and so I'm like, thank you. But at the same time, I was just like thinking, like, why is he all of a sudden just deciding to bathe now? She's been knocked out for who knows how long, and he decides to do it right now so that she finds him bathing. So I'm like, this is interesting writing, So I was kind of like, okay, whatever, And I like how at least Osha is very strong, saying I'm not easily manipulated, like my sister. So I appreciate at least that she's kind of using the Force, kind of being a Jedi a little bit. So I do have to give props to that writing right there. That wasn't too shabby. That wasn't too bad. I've given a positive critique right there. But I mean, leading up to, basically where we end, once again, nothing really is great there besides, the actor that plays Soul's acting. And the guy that plays Darth Swall, both of them are really decent actors. I do agree with that. I think that Soul guy, the guy that plays Soul, he is amazing that he learned English in 3 weeks to play this character, and he sounds like he's been speaking English for years. I mean, not even Jackie Chan sounded that good after having been in Hollywood for, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's freaking really impressive and shows that guy has really great talent. And the guy that plays Darth Swall, I'm really impressed with him too, because he really is bringing at least a decent Sith character to a horrible writing, to a horrible series that, is really the only redeeming factor is those two characters. And so I think that kind of this episode really gives both of them really great props. And I have to give them props about that at least this episode wasn't as bad as I feel as the rest of the episode. So I was happy that I wasn't like sitting there going, oh God, just get it over with already. So hands down to those two great actors in this sequence. They did a decent job.
All right, Imran, you're going to be the swingman on the panel, I guess, tonight. Go ahead, sir.
Yo, I felt the same way as Cyber. I was like, are we about to see some full frontal nudity, backle nudity in Star Wars? Is this what's happening? Manny Jacinto is great though, and you're absolutely right. He's playing this character with such swagger. This guy, he's killed a bunch of people. We've seen him. He's a cold killer, but he's also very charming, right? And here begins. They do some good things with him, and you learn some things about him. But here literally begins the seduction of the dark side. Like, I think he knew she was there. He wanted her. She saw his dick, clearly. He turned around. He was bucked there. She saw everything, right? So he is dangling his lightsaber out there to tempt her, to seduce her over. He tries, you'll notice, he tries a bunch of different seduction techniques over the course of the episode.
He's putting the mask on to get her used to having the bag over her head.
Yeah, he's just he likes skinny dip. Look, you got to stay clean when you're on that planet. You got to get in the nooks and the crannies. I don't know. You get dirty. But let's talk about Mog. First of all, great name. And second of all,
he's just like some queer white guy they decided to put in the show.
How does this scrawny, wimpy white dude make it through Jedi training? This is the question I have. There's no way he made it through any kind
of white.
Yeah, well, he's just scrawny and like goofy looking, this dude. And he's constantly like, the stuff he says in this episode is kind of hilarious.
Fucking Mog. Fuck Mog.
It's not Mog from wasn't that from Spaceballs? I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
All right.
Barf.
Barf.
Yeah.
Rathacon, your thoughts on that passage of the episode, sir?
Okay, so as I said in the MCU's Bleeding Edge chat like days ago, Manny Jacinto, that Sith Lord guy, like what you saw in episode 6, like he is the type of anime guy that all the girls would fall for in the comics. Absolutely. Like he's literally like that, but in real life form.
Yo, he's Filipino Ezra Miller, right? He looks just like a Filipino. He's
way hotter.
I've heard that critique from some of the same YouTubers that you must listen to some of the same YouTubers I do.
He's definitely, but he is. I guess he's a little hot. He's hotter than Ezra Miller. He's kind of weird looking.
Way hotter. Yeah. Like literally, like he's like the hot guy of every comic, every K-drama. Okay, like not the K-dramas that are led by the skinny Korean dudes. No, like we're talking about the muscular guys here. And think about it. You have poor script writing, right? Same like a lot of these sex movies. But how do sex movies get to the top? Or at least get close to the top? Gotta have sex appeal. And that's where that guy comes in. I don't know if you guys know this, but that guy was also in Top Gun Maverick.
He was, yeah. And he was on the good place. He's good. No, I like Manny, dude. Manny's he's doing good.
Yeah. And when you look at the anime shows or animation shows that he's been like voicing, like that's where I really got the sense of like this dude literally sounds like one of those hot dudes from these animated shows because he was the hot dudes of the animated shows.
Wow. Oh, he does do that voice. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Like that's his specialty. That's his selling point. And even though the show sucks, okay, you got to realize this show is going to propel his career a lot further than we think. Okay, all these other people, except for the Soul guy, their careers are going down the drain because of this show. But as Cyber said, you know, that Soul guy and this hot, probably the hottest dude of the whole show, those two are their careers are gonna. Okay, now as for that Jedi Temple scene where like they're talking about how like the Senate wants to investigate them and stuff, it's interesting.
Hottest? Did you say hottest
guy of the show? Yes.
Hottest?
Yeah. Why? Who do you think?
I never said hottest.
No. I didn't say you said it. I said that I think he's the hottest.
It sounded like you said I did, but okay. But anyways, I don't think anybody's hot. They're dudes. So yeah, thank you.
I know, but come on, like the muscles, you know, like anyway, if you're a guy, right? Like this guy's like your motivation to get buff, you know?
No, not really.
Right?
No.
No.
You gotta be serious. Like for me, it's like when I see him, like I want to be hot. I want to be buff like him, you know? like male Victoria's Secret model quality right there.
Hey, if I wear the right T-shirt on the right day, I look pretty buff.
Like right now.
It depends on the T-shirt. Not today. Not
Okay,
right now.
So your T-shirt's not gonna make you look buff right now.
But yeah, it depends on the
So
T-shirt.
you need shorter sleeves.
It depends on the fit of the T-shirt.
Okay. All right. But anyways, back to that Jedi Temple scene. It's just interesting to see how no matter how much the Jedi try to like stop the Senate from investigating them, right? They still do actions that make them want to investigate them further. Like, think about it. Just suddenly sending a bunch of Jedi to an unknown planet, just like that, over some unclear message. Like, okay, that is like crazy. Like, she's not Master Yoda, but somehow she has authority to just do something like that and just waste more Jedi lives. Like, of course the Senate wants to investigate. And anyone in the comments who are like, no, the Jedi should be independent of the Republic government. Like, no. Like, you see the mess, the shit show that the Jedi are. Like, of course you need the Senate to just intervene. Like, if the Senate was organizing the Jedi, like how they were in the prequels, yeah, things were a lot more smoother. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, so Qimir's revelation, back to unknown planet. Qimir reveals his past as a Jedi and explains the significance of his cortosis helmet, and talks about his scars. He tempts Osha with power, urging her to embrace the dark side, but she resists. Battle aboard the shuttle. This is one of the big scenes, you guys are going to want to focus in on this for questions. Basil. Aboard the shuttle, Sol and May have an emotional confrontation. Sol, thinking May is Osha, asks her to check the ship's systems when like all the power goes out. May gets gets charged by Basil, who decides to like run up and like do a couple like flips and shit and whatnot, and then karate chops the karate her and shit. And he like steps on her foot, and then she gets her face jizzed on. Yeah, which is on our thumbnail. The thumbnail picture of her is getting her face jizzed on. She gets her face jizzed on and does a jizz shot, right? By Pip, the fucking Pip the troll. Yeah. Of course Pip's still alive somehow, miraculously, right? Everybody else is dead, but Pip's still alive. Because fucking Basil brought it back to life, right? Yep. So she gets some shit. Pip, shoots some shit, some nut in her face, in her eyes and shit and whatnot. Which I'm sure was not the first time that Amanda's never had some nut in their eyes before, but May resets the Pip droid, and Basil watches closely. Sol realizes May's true identity and stuns her, preparing to use her to locate Qimir. The rescue mission begins. So we get Vanessa Rowe, Mog, our boy Mog, and the rescue team go to Khofar. Somehow they find like all the Jedi, and they find Kalneka and shit in like a couple of hours. When it took them the other Jedi took them days to find him, right? They found him in hours.
No problem at all. Yeah.
No, they went right to him. And Vanessa and her team arrive on Khofar, discovering the aftermath of the battle, and they prepare to investigate further into the forest. So I'll stop there. Going to you, Imran. What are your thoughts on that passage of the episode, sir?
I mean, again, this show is so tonally all over the place. Like, there is some cool shit in the conversation between Qimir and Osha, right? He's telling her, you're a lot stronger than you think. The Jedi are just making you think certain ways. She's like, that's fear and hatred. That's the side to the dark side. And he's like, that's just semantics. There's other ways to access. It's great stuff. And then it jumps to this silly, I mean, it was funny, but it's so goofy and out of place. Basil attacking May like that and stomping on. I'm like, really? It's so silly and ridiculous. I laughed, but I'm like, the fuck is going on? How did this show just flip from this to this? And I love how you could just reset a droid by holding like the power and volume up button like you do on your iPhone, and the droid just resets. No problem at all. That hasn't changed. And then we cut to, this is when Mog, doesn't he tell Vanessa like, oh, you're coming? Don't you usually puke on these things? It's just like, it just makes my stomach unsettled. But why are you showing me something we all saw last episode? They're catching up with us, you fuckers. We know what happened on that. Why do you keep going back to the shitty forest set? It's unnecessary. And Mog's like, oh, only Soul could have done this. And Vanestra ain't saying shit. And I think this is when we see her lightsaber whip, right? Which
Not yet. That's
not
later
yet.
on.
That's later. Okay. So yeah, it's all a bit frustrating and padded out and filler, and like nothing's happening. What is going on?
All right, Wrath of Khan.
Okay. I don't know about all of you guys, but for me, when I saw Basil just beat the shit out of May.
So stupid.
I literally was like, Basil, you're so cute, man. You're so fuzzy and cute. I just want to hug you, man. I don't know. Did you guys ever feel that? Because I don't know. That's what I felt.
Yeah, but he didn't really beat her up, did he? He just stomped on her foot and like that was it. And then he ran and then he fucked off. He's like, ah!
Okay, well, I'm gonna use Jeff's glasses so I can make the whole scene more messed up. like you know how like whenever like Cyber's moderate and Jeff like comments, it's like
Fuzzy?
any scene, and he would just make it like messed up. Like what? That's what I just did right there. But so fuzzy, so cute. Okay, also another thing, going back to what Imran said about like the vomiting part. Okay, at least in this day of age, we actually have medicines where it's like, you know, you can avoid travel sickness. Did that like disappear sometime in the future?
They don't have that.
Or what if the Jedi aren't allowed to take it?
They abstain.
They abstain. They abstain. Yes. Okay. And then finally, okay, about the whole conversation between handsome guy and Osha. Isn't it interesting that Osha had so many opportunities to just go swim, get the ship, and just go home?
Yeah.
But it's like, why? Why are you staying? Why are you talking? Like, I know you have the lightsaber up, right? You're so scared of this guy, but why are you staying and asking him questions? Like, I don't know what her purpose is, but I don't know what these creators are thinking either. Because if I was a writer, this is what I would do. I would have Osha just like, you know, arms down, just talk. If you want to be curious about the Force, not be like having a gun or lightsaber up. And then you're like, so tell me, why did you leave the Jedi Order? Why do you like the dark side? Like, she's not police. Okay, she's just a citizen. Yeah. Look, that's all I'm going to say. That whole sequence is just weird. Oh, one more thing. The reason why they found the Wookiee's house so soon is because they actually have an address book of where all the Jedi live. So that's why it's so easy. Soul doesn't have them, but that lady has.
Cyberneticshark, sir.
So out of the whole episode, I think probably the whole Jedi Temple sequence was my least favorite of the episode. And I just found it super boring. I just found it uninteresting. It just did not impress me at all. Especially because it's like, it was just so like, you knew it was coming. Like, oh, she sent them. Oh, now she's got to go after them because she sent them on this unrecorded trip. And you're just kind of like, oh, okay, good to know. And whatever his name is that you guys keep talking about there, the only white Jedi.
Mog.
You know, this guy is like, if he was any tighter, he'd be a you know, like a pill bag or something. This motherfucker is like so like poorly written. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
And this guy just like cracks me up. I'm like, dude, like when they gave you the script, did you look at it and go, oh, okay, yes, I'll act like a giant pussy. Yes, that's exactly what I want to play. Like, seriously, like, what was you doing when you looked at the fucking script? Like, seriously. I was just like, what the hell is this guy's point? Like, this guy is so unneeded. I'm like, you have enough with all the rest of the people that you have to deal with, you know? And it's like, just get rid of this guy. Just you should have killed him off instead of Gaffney Keen's character. I would have preferred her venturing on more. And just like I said, this scene was just, this section was nothing really that great. I mean, it gave you a few bit pieces that kind of helped the story move along a little bit, but nothing of that great extent. So overall, once again, I think this was probably the most boring part of the episode, I thought.
Wait, but I got to ask you guys, this is the scene where she's calling for help and then Saul zaps her.
Yeah.
She drops and then he goes, oh man. And you see Basil's right behind him, right? So this whole thing doesn't make a lot of sense because Basil is running around sniffing the air the entire episode, like for 2 episodes. He's like he knows that this isn't Osha, it's May. What he does not tell Saul. And to me, that read that like Basil just told Saul that that's actually May, and Saul had no clue the whole time. When do you think he knew, or did he know that it was
right there when Basil told him?
Right, that's what I thought. That he had no idea. How can you not know? What do you guys think, Cyber Wrath? When do you think he knew? Wasn't?
I think he already knew actually before that.
Earlier. Okay.
But like, remember how it's like she could have killed him that beginning scene.
Yeah.
But think about it. He knows May so well that her one-word response of sure, like instead of like trying to make some conversation or being like enthusiastic and stuff, like something's off. At least get the hint.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that he knew from the get-go.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, as you're watching how he's reacting and talking to May throughout the episode, even up to the point when he finally shoots her with that laser.
Yeah.
You definitely could tell that he knows something's different.
Okay.
There's like little trinkets that you could tell that Saul is, basically he knew from the get-go. And I think that he played it off like he didn't know she was her because he wanted to grab her by surprise. By doing that, what he does,
right?
But at the end of the scene here that we're talking about, him shooting her and capturing her. So I think he knew all along.
So he was kind of leading her on because it's so frustrating. How many times has Saul gone, oh, there's something very important I have to tell you. I'll tell you later. And then he doesn't tell him. And then something happens again, repetitive, just like people waking up. Can Saul just tell this goddamn story already? He does it again here. He's like, I have to tell you something very important. And then the power comes on and then she just walks away. I was like, wait a minute. When are you going to tell me the story? It's so annoying.
Okay, well, final confrontation. Osha and Qimir. Osha dons Qimir's Cortosis helmet, ready to face whatever comes next. Qimir continues to share his knowledge, emphasizing that the Force strength never fades. Ending scene, setting the stage. Sol, May, Vernesta, and Mog. Sol jumps to hyperspace just as Vernesta's crew arrives on Khofar. They start their investigation while Sol prepares May for their next steps. And it's alluded by Mog that it must have been Sol that killed the Jedi on Khofar. So that's basically the end of the episode right there. And I'll go to you, Rathacon, to start on that final passage of the episode, that ending.
So, what's interesting is that when we saw in the end of Revenge of the Sith, when Darth Vader finally has the mask on, you see how technological it is. And then I guess with Kylo Ren, it's like we never really got a peek of whether his mask was technological or not. I think that's what this last scene where Osha puts the Darth Lord's mask on. I think that's what the writers at Lucasfilm wanted to use that scene for. So just to tell people oh yeah, actually Kylo Ren's mask isn't even that special. I mean, look at his mask. They're all the same material, same everything basically. And I think this is foreshadowing that Osha might actually turn to the dark side because think about it. You're in this helmet, right? You don't know what type of dark magic is in there. I don't even know in any of the canon or legends where they're like, you know, if you wear someone's helmet, you might get their thoughts and stuff like that. We don't know that, but you can just tell. You can even hear the breathing of Osha, and then it's like kind of reminds me of like you know, Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader. So that scene, that's all I want to talk about just for the scene, because it's just that cool, even if it's a short moment, and it just makes you excited of the next episode.
Okay, Cyber.
The ending, like the rest of the episode, is pretty bland. I mean, you get that moment once again, just like, you know, Imran keeps saying, tell me the goddamn story already.
Yeah.
They basically do that at the end here.
Yes.
After he's captured her, and you're just like, okay, just tell the story already. Basically,
Roll
You're
credits.
like, roll credits. You're like, what the hell? Like, what's the point of that? You still have 2 episodes to go.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting for the next episode to tell this story? And you know, Osha putting on the helmet. Oh my stupid god! The most stupidest freaking thing ever, and so retarded. The breathing. I'm sorry. That was just so stupid. I was like, let's put the alien mask on and let's breathe heavy like Darth Vader. Yeah, that's an OD to the Star Wars. Like literally, like, are you trying to say Darth Vader's bad or something? What are we trying to do? You know, it's just like it just was like the stupidest thing. Like literally, like you were just telling him how you're not easily manipulated by the dark side, and yet you put on the stupid mask. Like seriously, are you that stupid? And it's just like you're like thinking about it, going, this chick is just stupid. Like literally, like no wonder you failed the Jedi Academy. That's why they threw you out. They're like, you're stupid. So, anyways, you know, the great, you know, Amanda Stelberg there, you know, such a great performance. Not, and you know, it wasn't anything that great. Even the scenes where she's like talking with Darth Swall, like, are very unconvincing, and are just like all the scenes as May. She just does not have a really great presence, and it just doesn't do anything, and the writing does not help it either. So, you know, overall, I think the conclusion of the film, once again, is kind of one of those aha moments where, oh shit, let's talk about the story and not talk about the story. And just, you know, overall uneventful. You know, so nothing that great. Not the worst of the series. I would give it that. But definitely nothing to call home about.
Imran.
I kind of love the cortosis of it all, because just the fact that there's this rare metal that can short out lightsabers for a little while, like, that's dope. That's crazy. Like, him headbutting the lightsabers was amazing. If you notice where he lives in his cave, there's like cortosis in the walls. Like, that's, you mine it. So like, there's a lot of it there. And I did think it was interesting. He does a callback to other previous Star Wars when he's like, when you put the helmet on, it also blocks out all other senses. And he says, what does he say? You only take, it's just the Force and whatever you bring with you. And I think Yoda said that to Luke in Empire Strikes Back when he was going into that, having that hallucination trip when he goes into that tree thing. So there's a lot of callbacks. Yes, and there's some Kylo Ren callbacks in the look of it. But the Darth Vader breathing is a little heavy-handed. We get it, and I think I'm just gonna they're just gonna flip. She's gonna flip him. They're gonna flip him. It's weird. And yeah, the ending again, the way these episodes are paced and edited and structured is just, it's not good episodic television. They think they're ending on cliffhangers, but it's, you don't care, and it's frustrating. And like, there's so much padding. This whole episode is it's like a textbook filler episode, really. These 30 to 35-minute episodes, they're not using the time well. It could have all been either told a lot quicker and compact, or you make the episodes longer and you move the story along. I don't know where the show is going after all of this, and it's just, it's a little frustrating. It's confusing.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, guys, ratings. I'll go first. I'm going to drop a solid I don't know, 5.5, I guess, on this one. So that's the best I can do. 5.5. Rathacon?
1.
Snap.
1. Okay, Cyber.
Wow, Wrath, a 1.
Yeah,
wow, you're about as
Cyber.
bad as
We had Cyber up to a 2 last time I was here.
Yep. Wow, that was horrible. I was actually gonna push this one up to a 3.
Ooh,
Like I said, because of Soul and Darth Swall.
Basil's. But I give extra points for Basil.
I deduct points for Basil. The dude is a fucking incompetent pussy. Jesus Christ, he's given all men a bad name, no matter what your race is. Jesus Christ.
Wait, you mean Mog or Basil? Basil.
No,
the rodent.
Basil. Not the little midget dude.
Basil is the midget.
No, Basil's the little rodent sniffer tracker guy.
Oh.
Is that who you mean? You mean Mog, the scrawny Jedi.
Oh yes,
The
Mogden. Yeah.
wimpiest Jedi I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That
like the
guy's
funny
name,
Jedi.
that little creature's name is Basil.
Yeah.
Basil.
Yeah, it's like Basil or Basil.
His name should be Mog, and the other guy should be Basil. That's how it should be. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Mog. Yeah, that guy. Ugh. But anyways, yeah, I give it a 3.
All right, Imran.
Look, despite the fact I enjoyed, we got a little bit of backstory and some character finally on some of these fuckers on this show to make you care, because I'm still trying hard to care, and so they give me a little bit. But this is an episode where we come off an amazing lightsaber battle, all this, and then the momentum just completely halts, and it's just like padded filler and quite uneventful. But I will give it a 5. I can give it a 5.
Okay. Well, quick early show tonight, guys. Let's get into plugs. Folks, we hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to plug out of here. I'll start with Mr. Jock and Nerd himself. And I'll start with the YouTube channel, sir.
I mean, it was a quick show because that's literally how uneventful this episode was.
It was, yes.
There's nothing, like barely anything happened. Like, this is it. Like, I'm done putting any more thought into this. Yeah, check out, if you listen to audio podcasts, you are search Jock and Nerd Podcast. We're also on YouTube. We're on every listening platform. We've been into a couple of 80s movies. We're reviewing some Brat Pack movies like Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Classic. And then the 80s came to us with Beverly Hills Cop XLF on Netflix, it's a lot of fun. The next episode, we will be reviewing this Indian action movie called Kill. Wrath, you heard of this movie, Kill? Anybody heard of it? You seen the trailer?
No, I haven't. Is it like Monkey Man?
Bro, no. Kill is like if you take like a little John Wick, a little The Raid, a little Die Hard on a train, and make an Indian version of that. It's not bad. We're gonna review it. I can't wait to talk about it. I just saw it yesterday, and it's bloody, it's violent. The whole thing is like narrow fight scenes on a train for the majority of the movie. Really well done. But we have new shows every Wednesday. We've been putting out a new show every week for almost 10 years now, so it's gonna be there for you to entertain.
There you go, folks. All right, Cyberneticshark, my friend. Let me pull over to you. There we go. Bam.
How's it going, folks out there? If you enjoy me here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, you can definitely check out my solo content. You can find me under Cyberneticshark, under YouTube, TikTok, X, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, pretty much anywhere there's a social media platform. Definitely check that out.
OnlyFans?
Yep, OnlyFans.
Oh,
yep.
Nice.
Yep. OnlyFans, feet pics, all that good stuff.
I'm signing up right now.
He's signing up, people. Anyways, Jeff, if you haven't checked out my tribute to Donald Sutherland, I just dropped that yesterday. And most recently, my trailer reaction to upcoming Freddie Prinze Jr. film called The Girl in the Pool. Looks like an interesting thriller type of film. Definitely check that out as well. And I got more stuff coming. Quiet Place Day 1, Actual F, all that kind of stuff soon for you guys. So keep an eye out for that. More stuff coming for you. So yeah, keep on trucking, keep on subscribing, and watch that shit.
Watch that shit, motherfucker. All right. Rathacon, we're not going to pull up your plugs because, like, every time we do it, it just ends up being a fucking. I just talk shit the whole time anyway.
What do you got to plug? I want to know what you
Yeah,
got.
wait. Especially with what happened recently with you know who. Let's not do it.
All right, that's a good idea.
Oh.
All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed the MCU'S Bleeding Edge tonight. For once, we're actually done before the hour mark. That's a pretty rare night for us, but we appreciate all of you out there. We'll see you in the next one, and peace.
Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the